Thank you for joining us today. Several years ago, a telephone company developed the slogan, "Reach out and touch someone." The idea was to take the opportunity to call someone you haven't spoken with in a long time. This idea of reaching out is not a new idea. In fact, Jesus was the greatest at this. No matter where he went, he reached out to people. He reached out to the sick, the blind, the lame, the grieving, and the sinful. And all of those that he touched were never the same again. As Christians, we are to follow this example. As Peter wrote in 1 Peter 2, verses 21 through 24, "For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example, that ye should follow his steps, who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth, who when he was reviled, reviled not again, when he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judgeth righteously, who his own self bare our sins in his own body on the tree, that we, being dead to sins, should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes ye were healed." With Christ as the head of the church, Christians are to be the other parts. We are to be the hands, the feet, and the lips. According to the words of the Great Commission in Mark chapter 16, verses 15 through 16, we fail to act as Christians should if we do not reach out to people not only with the gospel, but with our lives as well. In Mark chapter 5, we're presented with a story about Jesus reaching out and touching someone. This man is described as unlovable and unlovely. Notice with me Mark chapter 5, verses 1 through 5. "And they came over unto the other side of the sea, and into the country of the Gadarenes. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among the tombs, and no man could bind him, no, not with chains, because that he had often been bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had been plucked asunder by him, and the fetters broken in pieces, neither could any man tame him. And always, night and day, he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones." Now picture this image. Jesus steps out of a boat, and a filthy, naked, crazy man with a body covered with infected sores, with wild, tangled hair and crazy eyes, came running up to him out of the tombs. Here was a man who needed Jesus. But was Jesus willing to help? Now we can imagine several excuses that Jesus could have made. First, he could have said, "No, I'm too tired. I've had too hard of a day, so you're out of luck." Jesus had had a very busy day, a very difficult day. We too have days like this. But did Jesus say that he simply did not have time for this man? No, he did not. Jesus could also have said that it's not my responsibility. He has family in the area, so he's their responsibility. But he didn't say this either. Jesus also could have said he's not a good prospect for conversion. But Jesus did not say this either. Jesus also could have said, "Do you not know that there is risk involved in this? If I help this man, someone might get mad at me." Well, certainly Jesus could have given any number of excuses, but he didn't. Jesus looked over the barriers, and he helped this man. He did this because of his great love for this man. Yes, this man was unloved. He was disoriented. He was self-destructive, possibly even suicidal. But nevertheless, he was a man with needs. And Jesus helped this man. So what was Jesus' motivation to do this? Jesus is sensitive to the needs of others. He reached out to a man who was in need of help, and no one else could help. But Jesus also was willing to start where this needy person was, and not where he wanted him to be. Jesus could have told him, "Well, let's clean you up first, and then we'll take care of the real problem." But he didn't. Jesus started where he was. But also, Jesus was willing to rely upon the power of God. This man's life was not changed by psychology or counseling. It was changed by divine power. So as we have opportunities in this life, let us reach out to those who are in need. Let us share with them the gospel of Jesus Christ. and let us make a change in their life. Thank you for listening today. This is Josh Dement. Have a good day.